Hello everyone, it's Delissa, mom of two silly boys, and I just wanted to say thanks for joining me for video number 2 in our knit along. So last time we discussed your supply list and also where to get the pattern. So when I said last time in the last video I was going to show you what the hat is going to look like. Well, it's not really going to look like this. This was the first hat I had made when I started learning to knit. And as you can see, it is humongous. Just going to quickly go over the long tail cast on. Once again, you want to get a very long tail because this is going to be basically what we're making the cast on with. So you want to make sure it's nice and long. If you run out of yarn before you get all 90 stitches on that we're going to be casting on, just take it apart. Make your long tail longer. First thing we do, of course, is we make a slip knot. And we get that needle. So you'll be doing your casting on directly on your US 9 16-inch circular needle. I'm going to do mine on this straight US 9 double pointed needle just so that everyone can have a clear view of what I'm doing. So we have it, my slip knot is on. We have the 2 strings. We hold it in our right hand. That's where we're going to hold the needle in. We're going to take these 2 fingers, stick them in, spread out our yarn, and then just grip. See that? We're going to grip it there. Then we're going to take it, bring it down in between 2. Then we're going to slide it up under our finger, our thumb there. We're going to go around, down, and pull it through, then release that. That's going to give us 2. And so we're just going to continue that until we have 90. And if you want us to you want to do the other cast on, just go to the other video and fast forward till you get to that point. So, but the long tail cast on is really easy, really fast. Also, for those who have, well, we all have smartphones and iPads and everything, there's an app that I love. It's called the Knitter's Handbook. It shows you different cast-ons, bind-offs. It also shows you lots of other knitting techniques that'll help you along the way. So we have 90 stitches, okay? So it should look something like this right about now. And you want to make sure it's evenly spaced throughout the needle. And you want to make sure that they're all going in the same direction, that you don't have any that's up like that. It's not all that twisted like that. And let's give it one last count. Make sure we have 90. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 90. Okay, so I have 90 stitches on it. As you see, my tail is long. Still have all this yarn left over my long tail. Not a problem. Later on, if it bugs me too much, I'll just clip it down short, and not too short because you don't want to not give yourself some extra at the end, because you could always weave it in and you won't even notice it's there. All right, so we are about to start working on the round. So make sure your stitches are nice and evenly spaced around. And I know if some of you may be a little tight, but as it goes around, it'll get wider and it'll be a little easier to use. Okay, so here's what we need to do. So we've cast on 90. So we want to get one of our markers. So, and you should get your counter out too. I have my counter out. Let me reset it to 0. Okay, so I'll reset to 0. So, okay. So you want to have the working strand, which is long tail, so you don't really want that to get confused with your working strand. Your working strand is the one that's connected to your yarn. All right. And you'll be working in this direction away from that. Okay, so what are you going to do? You're going to place your marker right there. I like to keep this towards me. It's just a preference. All right, so, and of course, get yourself comfortable however I like to thread my way through. And when to join, you simply knit into that first stitch. So we're going to get our needle in, wrap it around, pull it through, and knit. And let's do that all the way around. As you see, I don't knit very fast. And those of you who are using the aluminum needles, you'll find that you'll go a little faster because yours will slip much more smoothly than us using bamboo needles. So make sure you're going through that stitch, you're knitting it through. We'll work together on the first round. So, just gonna go around. And as you see, once I knitted into that first stitch, it's basically created that one complete circle. And every time you go around that point, you just want to make that first stitch a little tighter. That way you'll reduce. And as you see, as I'm knitting, I should knit where you can see. As I'm knitting, I'm moving this around so that I am able to much more easily slide. So just keep knitting. Kind of like Dory from Nemo. Just keep knitting. Just keep knitting. Okay, and as the instruction says, be careful not to twist the stitches. So you just want to make sure of that as you knit. And you can see where I joined at the round, right there. And trust me, it will. After a while, it will blend in seamlessly, and you won't even know where that part was started. And that is the reason why you want the marker, because the marker tells you, helps you keep count. Well, it tells you where the beginning of your round is. So let's just keep knitting. Just gotta go around. No shortcuts to knitting. You just gotta keep, and you want to keep a steady tension. And that's one of the reasons why I wrap it around my pinky. That way it's not a quick feed of the yarn. It's just a very constant flow, and something my mom taught me when she taught me to crochet, to keep it through. So we're just gonna keep going around and around. Yeah, knitting takes time. When you watch the video, you could head over to my Facebook page, leave me a comment, tell me if there's something you would like me to post about, that you would like to see a video of. Remember, you want to make sure you keep that lace. You see that first knit? It looks kind of stretchy here, but as you go on, you see it comes back together. Remember, we're learning together, and anything question you ask me that I don't know about, which is probably a lot, I can always ask my instructor. Every week I go to a knitting group with some fabulous women who've been knitting for years, and they answer a lot of my questions. Okay, it's getting tight. And you want to make sure that you're knitting on using your working yarn directly from your ball, and you're not using that long tail. If you find yourself accidentally picking up that tail end, you'd want to clip it and just make it shorter so that, And this first row is normally the slowest row because you are setting the foundation to your, and basically this is what you're going to be doing for, let's see, let's look at the instructions for, you're going to knit, being careful not to twist your stitch. You're going to do this for 20 rows. I'm almost there. Let me just show you a knit stitch really quickly for those of you who don't know what a knit stitch is. So basically I'm taking this needle and I'm sticking it into this edge, and I'm just picking up my yarn and bringing it through. And that's all I'm doing, just over and over again. I most of the time knit behind the stitch. That's the way I taught myself. But I wanted to make sure for these videos that I do the classical convention way. Also is what's slowing me down a bit because I'm not used to knitting correctly, which is bad to say. Okay. So knitting, and I have to remind myself to do it that way. So but after you do this for 20 rounds, you will have it down. So, and it's important that you're using a US size 9 needle. And right now, yes, the hat does look small, but this is an adult size hat, and it'll get bigger as we continue. And as you can see with my hat, it got bigger once I lost count. Also, we're doing it from the bottom up, so we'll decrease. If you read in the pattern, we'll decrease as we go along. And in order, I try to make sure I don't twist my stitches. Gotta keep them all together. Okay. Reset. And let's keep going. And then, you know, the marker is really great because it lets you know when you've completed that. Ooh, see, I went into my tail yarn, which is almost snagged there. Okay. So I'm going to move these around, just working the stitches around so that I'm able to, and as we move on, it'll get easier. Okay, and here we go back to the beginning. So we take the marker, we move the marker over, back to that, and we can put that down for a second, and we get our timer, our counter, and we move it to 1. So we've completed 1 round, and from this point, what we want to do, I wanted to show you this, so before we end this video. But what you want to do, yeah, see that big, here's where we had originally started around it. See, we put the, you know, that will go away. What you want to do every time is make this first stitch really, really tight. Well, not too tight, but you want to make it tight so you'll reduce the size of that gap as you go around. So you want to do it tightly for the first couple of stitches, not too tight, but just to pull it together. Okay, so we've worked, and as you see, look at that, it's already made a vast improvement from just a moment ago, thus doing those 2 stitches really tightly. Okay, so we've worked, we've cast on our 90 stitches, we placed our marker, and we made sure our stitches were not twisted. No twisted stitches. And as you see, we're starting to work out bigger. So we're going to do 20 rounds. So once you get to 20, stop down and come on back for the next video. Thanks for joining me. Once again, I'm Delissa, mom of 2 silly boys. Like me on Facebook at Mom of 2 Silly Boys. And subscribe to my page, to this YouTube channel. Thanks so much. Bye.